Welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining us today. We hope your 2023 is off to an awesome start. CONNECTpreneur is a global community of over 25,000 investors, CEOs, entrepreneurs, business leaders, and professional service providers from around the world. And 2023 marks our 12th year of doing CONNECTpreneur events. So thank you guys so much for being a part of this. Today is our 87th event overall over the last 12 years and our 37th virtual event. These virtual rocket pitches are now the world's largest monthly investor pitch events. We've had over 900 presenting companies.
If we keep raising the debt ceiling with no...
Our CONNECTpreneur Investor Network now totals over 3,600 accredited private investors, angels, and family offices who are interested in investing in awesome deals that they can meet through our CONNECTpreneur community and our events. Our events are all about connecting, so this is why we do these events as meetings and not webinars, so everybody on this meeting can actually see and private chat with everyone else. So we also publish a list of the registered guests in the back of each program book. So hopefully you've already downloaded the program book, and if not, then Skylar, who's our community manager, can post the link to today's program book and you can download it. And in that program book are information on our sponsors and partners, as well as all 11 presenting companies from today. Today we have 11 presenting companies, and after our last presenter, we'll open up the breakout rooms. Each breakout room is hosted by one of our presenting companies, and you'll be able to enter and leave whichever breakout room that you choose. And the purpose of the breakout rooms is for our presenting companies to go deeper with interested parties, interested investors, and partners. So please remember that those rooms are hosted by them, and please conduct yourself accordingly. Also, please be respectful and tactful when using the group chat. You can post your LinkedIn and other contact info, brief introduction of who you are, but please do not overload the chat. And unless you're a presenter, please don't post more than 2 or 3 times. I'm going to ask you to download the chat history before you leave the meeting. That way you have a whole record of the dozens or maybe even hundreds of messages that'll be on the chat today. During their presentations, our presenting companies will be posting links to their executive summaries, to their Calendly links, so you can do additional meetings with them later on. You know, we do encourage you to go ahead and reach out to them and do follow-up meetings with them. Also, because the group chat has lots of messages, download the chat history before you go into the breakout rooms, otherwise you might lose them, and you can read through them later. We will be doing a lot of investor polls today. These are for investors only. We have 5 polls, so we have 11 companies. So after every 2 companies, we will do a poll, and the last poll will be for our final 3 presenters. So if you're an interested investor, please indicate. These are confidential, not a popularity contest. We will not share any of that information with anyone except for our presenting companies, so that they can get back in touch with you guys. We have a lot of people to thank. It takes a village to put on these events. I want to thank our awesome CONNECTpreneur ambassadors. They've done a great job spreading the word about our events worldwide. I want to also thank our awesome prep team. Inez Lebeau, who some of you know, has been instrumental in prepping a number of our presenters. And we just have a great organization, and they're making this event what it is. So here's a rundown for today. We have 11 total presenters. Each presentation will be about 4 minutes. No Q&A. You can save your questions for the breakout room. And if you're an interested investor, you can indicate this on the investor poll. If you're not an investor, please do not participate on the investor poll. The first 6 presenters will be introduced by Mark Haas, CEO of the Association for Enterprise Growth. And the next 5 will be introduced by Daryl Barros of Next, powered by Shulman Rogers. Our CONNECTpreneur community also has an awesome YouTube channel. We have over 500 videos of our alumni presenters, so please subscribe. The community also has a free Slack channel with 4,200 business leaders on it. You can feel free and join the network, become part of the community. You can share info about your events. If you're hiring, or if you're looking for work or looking for partners or investment opportunities, you can use the Slack channel for that. And we'll post the links to the Slack channel and the YouTube channel into the chat so you can sign up later. A couple of our upcoming events. Our next virtual rocket pitches are February 23rd and March 30th, so please mark your calendar now. We're going to post the registration links in the chat box throughout the event. So please let us know if you're interested in sponsoring or presenting. If you're in the Washington, D.C. area on Tuesday, January 31st in the evening, we are doing our Connect Tales cocktail party event from 5 to 7 p.m. or 6 to 8 p.m. Hank Dearden, who's our partner on the Connect Tales, will be posting the links to come. That'll be in Arlington at an awesome Vietnamese restaurant. So if you're in town, please come. All right, we can go ahead and get started. I want to put up our first poll, which is a poll for our awesome sponsors. These are the people that make this possible. So if you're looking for any of their great services, please indicate and we will connect you with them. And I'd like to read out our sponsors. They're listed in the program book, but we have Next, powered by Schulman Rogers. We have Schulman Rogers, Modus Create. We have Stella Pop, AEG, Entrepreneurs Organization, the Maryland Tech Council's Venture Mentoring Services, K-Retsu Forum, Pitchforce, Ryan and Wetmore, Truist Financial, Refraction. I'm broadcasting from Refraction, which is the Washington, D.C.'s leading co-working community. And there are special deals for anyone interested in coming over here and joining. Startup Grind, the Baltimore Angels, Georgetown Entrepreneurship, Angels and Life Sciences Investors, FITSE, the Dingman Angels, Founder Institute, the MIT Alumni Angels of Washington, D.C., the annual Wharton D.C. Summit, and the National Association of Business Owners and Entrepreneurs. And please, I think you guys have already indicated on the poll. We're going to do another sponsored poll at the end of the event before we go into breakout rooms. But thank you guys for your participation, and we'll make sure that our sponsors connect with you. We also have a category for ambassadors for CONNECTpreneur, and our ambassadors are people from around the globe who help promote our events. And there's lots of nice benefits. Our ambassadors are able to submit to do master classes to our community, attend our events at no cost, and a few other things that Skylar or Avery, who's our assistant community manager, can fill you in on. So anyway, we'll end the poll now. Thank you for your participation. And to introduce our first 6 presenters, I'd like to introduce longtime CONNECTpreneur partner, Mark Haas. Mark is the CEO, co-founder of AEG, which is the DC, Baltimore, and Tampa, Florida region's top alliance of elite service provider advisors. AEG is expanding into other regions around the United States. Members include some of the leading business professionals in Washington, Northern Virginia, Baltimore, and Tampa. I'm personally proud to be an investor in and chairman of AEG. Mark is currently in fundraise mode, so hopefully he'll post his executive summary in the chat box. Any interested investors can reach out. Mark, please give us a few more details about AEG, and thank you for your continued support of CONNECTpreneur.
Thanks. So the one thing that Tian did not talk about is we have 2 communities. One is mid-market CEOs at 20 million plus, and the other is elite advisors in complementary disciplines. And those 2 communities will be launched in each city across the country and then knitted together. So we did launch Tampa last month, and it's going like gangbusters. A lot of interest from a lot of communities. We are in capital raise mode. We got a new investor last week. So if you're interested, I'll put the information in the chat, and you can reach out to me. Our first presenter is a repeat. It was interesting last time. I think you'd find it interesting this time. Given that the stethoscope was invented 200 years ago, most of the improvements have been on the auditory side. But our next presenter, Scott Mader, who's the CEO of a Septoscope, will tell you about there's something else that's a great improvement to healthcare that he can provide.
Hi, my name is Scott Mader. For the next 4 minutes, I'll be introducing you to our company, a Septoscope, where my founders, my teammates, my investors, and I welcome you to join us in this current round of investment. The current American Journal of Infection Control titles our product A New Normal in Infection Control. We'll lead you through why. Now, the first thing is that healthcare-associated infection, or HAI, is the area of clinical concern where the innovation, the Discover system, focuses. And this is an enormous challenge globally and in the U.S. In the U.S. alone, there are 2 million infections that are transmitted to patients while they seek care every year. 1 in 25 hospitalized patients. 200,000 patients in the U.S. will die every year from HAI, and $40 billion is spent every year dedicated to impacting healthcare-associated infection. Now, the healthcare environment is a high-stakes environment. It is fast-paced, and it's difficult to take full care of infection control standards. The CDC focuses providers on these 6 core indices, with hand hygiene as the very foundation of all infection control. So, with progress made in these areas, what exactly is the problem? What are we missing? The literature confirms that now the stethoscope, the clinician's third hand, is culpable. It is touching patients with the same frequency as the hands. It carries the same density and diversity of pathogens as the hands, but goes largely uncleaned between patients. And when it is cleaned, you still can pick up pathogens off that diaphragm touch point. Now, alcohol requires 60 seconds of time between every patient. CDC guidance calls for that. Yet still, the stethoscope has never really been effectively cleaned with alcohol. The reasons are because it's time intensive in a high workflow environment. It's technique dependent. It destroys the stethoscope diaphragm over time. And alcohol resistant pathogens have emerged so that even if you do clean it, they can still be cultured off the diaphragm. The Discover system, on the other hand, our new innovation, takes 2 seconds to apply, is workflow compatible, and has been proven to be 100% effective, superior to standard of care, saves tremendous time, easy to use, cost effective, and not surprisingly, it is preferred by patients and clinicians. You know, you can see why they prefer it. This is so workflow friendly. The doctor comes in, it takes no time to apply it, the patient sees they're protected, and the clinician goes on to have a perfect auscultation as this is acoustically invisible. Introduction to the market with the Discover system is immediate. We have an enormous market potential, 5 billion touches a year in the U.S. For standard of care with alcohol, uniquely beneficial technology that's 100% effective. Our commercial sales have begun with our sales force out there trained and growing. Community hospitals, outpatient clinics, cancer hospitals, cancer clinics, and national healthcare providers are being approached actively. Our forecast for U.S. growth has us with a break-even point, cash break-even in early 2024, and our clean cassettes shown here in green scale significantly as they're placed into the wall-mounted dispensing units. Our patent family, SIP family, really focuses on the Discover system and a full portfolio of technologies that will be evolving to support infection control for ultrasound probes, hands, and more. Now, Aseptoscope's moving to close out our bridge round, and funds are applied directly to commercial scaling. This active round is a $4 million bridge with $2.4 million already closed. We invite you to join the $1.6 million that is remaining. The convertible note program is a 20% discount, 5% interest, 36-month maturity, and $18 million value cap. The funds, as mentioned, go directly to support the launch of the Discover system, and to incentivize that, we have a new term of $18 million, down from $28 million as a value cap. This puts new investors at the pre-money valuation for this program at $18 million for value cap conversion. There are many reasons to consider joining us in investing in Aseptoscope. Our founders all invest in every round, $200,000 in this round alone. We hope you'll join us. My name's Scott Mader, President, CEO, and co-founder, and we thank you for your time.
Thanks. So our next presenter, Careware, has developed a product for the LED, light emitting patch for pain relief, and muscle relaxation. Our presenter is Chris Castell, co-founder and CEO of Careware.
Well, let's start then. I'm Chris Castell, and I'm the CEO of Careware. And Careware, there we go, is a therapeutic wearable and digital health technology provider. We're proven to work, and we've got some very interesting technology in the area of wound healing, pain, arthritis, and dermatology. We have well-established and recognized pulse blue and red light technology, a very strong IP portfolio with 65 patents obtained to date, and we have a stable supply chain. We also are ready to scale. We've put 4,000 units or more out into the post-acute and sports market. And we have a great team. I'm a veteran leader with strong medical tech background, PhD in physical medicine and rehab. And we sold our last startup to Hanger for $155 million. So a little credibility in that regards. There's a huge unmet need for the treatment of soft tissue injury and pain, as well as arthritis. And over $100 billion a year is spent in this market, so no lack of opportunity. There is a lack of integrated solutions and rehabilitation services, particularly in post-op recovery and treatment and home care. And there's also a global shortage of therapists and healthcare providers in this segment. We've seen reduction in reimbursements as the global norm, and there's a lot of pressure to really look at outpatient home care, digital health, and telerehab. And of course, the pandemic has accelerated this opportunity. We have a robust wearable therapeutic and digital health solution. Basically, not only do we get effective patient outcomes, but we figured out how to print light, have a controller that's ultra light and wearable, and it allows us to do remote therapeutic monitoring through Bluetooth connectivity. We use blue light and red light in our devices, and they're actually synergistic to each other. The blue light increases circulation to the local area, and it's also antimicrobial, whereas red light is good in pain management. It's anti-inflammatory, and it accelerates tissue healing. One of the things that I can bring up here is we have great IP and regulatory. We have a global patent portfolio of 65 issued patents. We're OTC approved by FDA, CE, Health Canada, and Australia. We've got double-blind randomized clinical trials backing our devices, and we have published antibacterial and antiviral efficacy. We're also reimbursed under Medicare Part B by CPT codes for digital health. We have existing traction in a large user community. And here we have more than 100 professionals, teams, college, sports, U.S. forces, military, and these devices are used extensively in places like the NFL, Major League Baseball, and others. We have a company with 13 employees. We were founded in 2017, and our first product readiness is pain relief and muscle recovery. We've had numerous awards over the years in innovation. In IoT, we had the CES Innovation Award in 2022. And we have a great experienced team with know-how in pain rehabilitation and dermatology. We have a strong board and a good clinical advisory board. One of the important things is we're ready to go and we're ready to scale. We're doing a $10 million round with a $2 million round right now that is basically a convertible and a bridge that's going to that. The single patient model is scalable, and the provider billing is $150 a month. It can be put into both physician practices and rehabilitation providers at the enterprise model level. We're planning to grow sales using the use of funds, and we are doing a $10 million Series A. This will be an ongoing development for digital health and expansion of our operations. Careware is, has been presenting. We presented at JP Morgan. We were at CES. We're going to Arab Health, and we're represented by Lyra Health. And Dan Pastore is also on the program today. So please feel free to get in touch with me or with him, and we look forward to talking with you. Thank you very much.
Scott, we'll put up our first investor poll for our first two presenters, Scott and Chris. So, as Scott just talked about, touch-free disc cover system and what experts call a new normal in infection control standards, and then Careware, wearable therapeutics, digital health technology provider addressing soft tissue injury, wound healing, pain, arthritis, and dermatology. And this is just for investors only. So just as a reminder, all of our 11 presenters will be hosting their own breakout rooms at the end of our presentations. And you can use that as an opportunity to go deeper with them and do Q&A. So I'll leave the poll up for a few more seconds. I still see people participating. Thank you so much. Again, these are confidential. We're not going to be publishing the polls. We're just going to share your contact info with our presenting company so they can follow up with you. Okay, we can take the poll down, I guess. And then I'll turn it back over to Mark, who will introduce our next two presenters. Mark.
Next presenter is Endomedics. It's a med tech company, and they're using chemical creation to create some lattices and solid matrix to help a range of medical applications. So Richard Russo is the president and CEO of Endomedics.
Good morning, and thank you. So I'm Richard Russo, CEO of Endomedics and the lead investor. Endomedics has invented a unique chemistry platform. The first spin-off is an absorbable hemostat with the first indication for brain and spine surgery. This is a large, high-value application where we have IP-protected strategic advantages. M&A activity and transaction valuations in this sector are high. There have been major advances in neurosurgery, but surgeons are still working with the same technology to control bleeding first introduced in 1945. The devices are slow-acting, an issue because these are used multiple times per case. These swell in use 20 to 200%, producing mass effects and reoperations. The devices are opaque, not allowing real-time verification of effectiveness. The obtainable serviceable market is large, 5.4 million procedures annually in the U.S. and targeted OUS markets. This produces a $1.8 billion market at current prices. After neuro, we will introduce Plexaclide into other surgical markets, a flowable form into MIS surgery such as laparoscopy and non-hospital trauma. Now, Plexaclide is a handheld device that sprays biopolymer solutions that form a structured and dynamic device in situ. The unique and patented mechanisms of action provide hemostasis in about 20 seconds, 30 times faster than the standard of care, without requiring the use of tedious manual compression or drugs. Importantly, Plexaclide gently shrinks instead of swelling and is transparent. Now, this slide shows Plexaclide being used in a type of bleeding that the doctor will use an absorbable hemostat when they can't use electrocautery. The excess blood is removed from the site, and Plexaclide is sprayed onto this porcine liver as a model. As you can see, it's transparent. It forms very quickly in approximately 2 seconds. The blood turns dark as the clot forms, and it is effective in about 15 seconds in this situation, 19 seconds in the overall trial. 3 competitors jointly control 95% market share in the neuro market. All 3 devices are based on the same legacy technology and are slow-acting, swell-in use, are opaque, and require manual compression and drugs for efficacy. We use a small internal team surrounded by a constellation of world-class subject matter experts. I'm a veteran of 2 prior startups with exits with strong regulatory experience. Piyush Modak, our VP of R&D, is an accomplished biomaterials scientist who led the creation of the technology, working with consultants such as Mike Jaffe, past chair of the polymer section of the American Chemical Society. We've tested Plexaclide in 3 animal trials in the model preferred by FDA, obtained 10 issued patents, and have an agreement with the U.S. Army for battlefield application. According to Silicon Valley Bank, most Class 3 devices are required prior to final FDA approval. Here's a partial list of such exits provided by SVB as a courtesy. This is our timeline as we drive toward our first major exit opportunity for Endomedics. This slide presents our base case pro forma plan for Plexaclide in neurosurgery only. And we are closing our seed round of $4.2 million, offering preferred stock and with a 10% warrant coverage at a $7 million pre-money valuation. Please note the 20% rebate available from New Jersey. We'll be using the cash for production scale up and dispenser design and production. My details for contact are on the right-hand side, and I hope to hear from you.
Cannabis. It's a growing market, but there's a need for the ability to accurately modulate dosage and optimize the individual's experience, whether it's for medical or recreational users. Our next presenter is Aviel Cohen of Grams.
Thank you, Mark, for the introduction. Grams is a pure tech startup in the cannabis industry located in Tel Aviv, Israel. At Grams, we combine hardware and software technologies to develop unique and advanced consuming solutions for cannabis consumers, both for medical and recreational use. Over 70% of the cannabis market is based on dried flowers, which raises the big question, what is my dose? How to control flower consumption? The lack of control leads to lack of information and lack of knowledge, which makes controlling the biggest problem in the industry. Controlling is the basis of any medical treatment with a fixed dosage. Controlling provides smart consuming and emphasizes the experience. Our solution is a unique one-of-a-kind herb grinder incorporated with a highly accurate scale along with an advanced application. Grams grinder and scales provide you the ability to control each session at 10 milligram accuracy at a single and simple step at a low cost. And with Grams application, the consumer can control his consumption, rate his session, and share his information with his doctor, for example. Grams grinder and scale is a patent pending registered in United States, Canada, Europe, and Israel. Over 130 million cannabis consumers are globally. And as a pure tech startup that enjoys from little regulation, we aim high to North America and Europe as our primary markets, with over 40 million cannabis consumers. In the United States alone, 33 states have opened the cannabis market with medical and recreational law, creating a $25 billion market in 2021 with a 15% annual growth. As a company that combines hardware and software technologies, we overlap with various competitors in the industry. But Grams' advantage is in combining different technologies to provide a full ecosystem, while our competitors provide a single point solution. We have traction. In Israel, we have signed a 5-year distribution agreement with Relief Herbs, with over 300 selling points across pharmacies and smoke shops. In North America, we're in connection with distributors and resellers. In addition, we're in communication with an American company on creating a co-branding corporation based on our Grams grinder and scales. Our team is poised to take the company to the next level. Combined, we have over 35 years experience in setting up and managing various operations. The best word to describe our team is synergy. And our mission is to standardize the grinder and scale and connect as many consumers as possible to Grams application. By the end of 2023, we project to reach over $9 million in revenue by retail and wholesale, by co-branding corporation, and by white labels, all compatible with Grams application. Till now, we've raised $350,000. Today, we're here to raise $1 million in convertible notes for inventory, sales, and marketing. The timing is now. We're raising funds to penetrate the North American market and go out big. So come and join us to change the world of cannabis. Thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to speaking with you more in the breakout room.
Thanks, Aviel. Let's put up our second investor poll. This is for investors only. So we had our last two presenters, Endomedics and Grams. Endomedics, patented by a surgery platform. First spinoff is a device that stops bleeding in neurosurgery. Huge market, obviously. And then Grams, which was Aviel, tech cannabis startup. I do want to let you guys know we're going to do polls after every 2 presenters. So we have 11 total. 4 have already gone, so we have 7 left. At the end of the final presentation, we're going to go into breakout rooms, and each of the presenting companies is going to host their own breakout rooms, so you can do Q&A and go deeper and set appointments with the presenters at that time. And before you go into the breakout rooms, please download your chat history. You'll probably see a lot of activity in the chat box. So if you go into the breakout room, you may lose the chat history. So just keep that in mind. I still see some investors participating. Last call for investors interested in Endomedics or Grams. And this is confidential. We will share this information with the presenters only. Okay, why don't we turn it back over to Mark Haas, who will introduce our next 2 presenters. Mark.
Great, thanks, Tian. So just like cannabis, wellness services are on the rise, increasing. So wellness service to help people, connect, whether they're in live, virtual, or hybrid events, and to benefit their organizations' communities. Happily is creating an app and services, whether you're talking about summits or fundraisers or concerts or whatever. Interested to hear from Caitlin Eisler, CEO of Happily.
Thank you, Mark. That was an awesome introduction. Friends, my name is Caitlin Eisler, founder and CEO of Happily. 3 years ago, I was a partner at a global consulting firm, $1 billion firm that had lots and lots of benefits that honestly weren't moving the needle for me or for my teammates. And so we, our team at Happily, and the HR leaders that we've been so lucky to partner with, set out to make the intersection of work and life better. And we try to do this through Happily. And Happily is the digital wellness benefit designed to support wellness and healthy gatherings in the new world of work. And I'll just say, for anybody that maybe saw us present 6 months or a year ago, we've done a pretty big pivot. So we're excited to share that with you. So as you think about work, there's certainly a problem with work today. As teams spend less time together and more time on their screens, employees are struggling. They don't feel connected on a human level with their companies, managers, and colleagues. And that lack of engagement really leads to decreased productivity, burnout, quiet quitting, all the things you guys are hearing in the news, ultimately costing the organization a significant amount of time and money. So you guys know, after the last couple of years, nobody wants another strong Zoom happy hour, and building strong connections across an organization can actually reduce turnover risk by 50%. And Zoom just isn't cutting it. So our mission is to empower people to find balance, connection, and belonging by reimagining how work and life interact, and ultimately how companies bring people together with purpose for moments that matter, all driving the business outcomes. And this is honestly why our customers care at all about what we're doing. So how it works, Happily helps individual employees, HR, and leaders to gather their teams together in healthy ways. And this is all done through some proprietary technology that we've created. And this is all around how to connect people in a distributed workforce, again, with low to no lift for anybody in the business. Happily can be used for inspiration for planning of small group gatherings and company-wide events that all center around specific location or activities or give back experiences. And we remove the friction from the opportunity to have healthy gatherings. Happily is employee-led and lived. It's a benefit that allows employees in under 60 seconds to create local meetups and interact with teams with purpose. Gathering is easy. It creates a sense of community, promotes physical and mental health, and social well-being as well. And again, we do this through give back, local and national volunteer opportunities, all curated and qualified within our platform that can't be found in other places. We have integrations for DEI and cause-based organizations as well, which is our businesses really appreciate. And then on the wellness side, thousands of activities and personalized recommendations can be found, all locally generated by our team. And businesses really appreciate how easy it is to track app usage, social impact commitments, monitor team balance, and overall participation rates. And all of this is at the idea of improving employee satisfaction while positively impacting brand reputation. So as you think about Happily, we kind of sit at the intersection of wellness and engagement. And one of the ways we're sticking out, beyond the fact that we're combining these topics that are really important to the business, is that it's a really low lift for our employers to roll out, which is very different from what they're seeing in the market. It's a large market opportunity. We're looking at the intersection of engagement and wellness at $5 billion globally, or $5 billion in the US, $52 billion globally. And for us, that's companies with over 1,000 employees in the US. And that market will certainly grow as we grow globally and also open up the SMB market. Our strategy today is direct. This year, we'll be launching with this funding round channel partnerships with NFP, you might be familiar with if you're in the DC area. And ultimately, by 2024, we'd like to be product-led where people can just go to our website and buy, and that will decrease our cost of sale significantly. Last year, we did $140,000 in revenue. We're on target to do $500,000 in revenue this year and $50 million by 2028. We have some amazing customers on board. Our first early customers, Navy Federal, Appian, you might know if you're in the DC area, they renewed, all 4 of our first early customers renewed. Navy Federal said it's the best benefit they've ever rolled out. And you can see on the left all of the pilots that we have in flight. Deloitte just joined the party yesterday, so we're super excited about that. Really positive feedback on some of the changes we've made. We're raising $2.5 million at an $8 million pre-money valuation. We've raised 1.65 of that, and that Cab Angels is the lead on our round, and we're super lucky to have VIPC as a major investor. This investment will split across sales, marketing, and product. And the great news is we have the team on board to do it. So whether it's Kyle, our chief product officer, who has extensive experience building and scaling startups with 3 successful exits, or Kim Daly, our new head of marketing, who came from Fitbit, we've got incredible people on the team that have intimate knowledge of the HR landscape, and they're ready to fulfill this mission. If you're interested in the tech space in wellness and would like to connect, I'd certainly love the opportunity. Thank you.
Our next presenter is Raymond McCarthy of iFund. And with the increase in charitable giving and GoFundMe opportunities, it's hard for both funders and donors to really know, to choose who to trust, where their money is going, et cetera. So there's certainly a need for more trust and transparency in the giving market. And so iFund has developed an app to help do this. Raymond McCarthy, CEO of iFund.
Thank you. Hi. So this is iFund. It's a fundraising platform, but built specifically for trust, and I'll show you why. The hidden killer of online fundraising has been a bigger and bigger problem throughout the last decade, and it has everything to do with trust. The trust problem is exhibited in this group over here we can call the skeptics, representing this 40% who would be donors, who would contribute to online fundraising, but ultimately cut their contributions or opt out of online fundraising entirely because they don't trust where the money goes. The main perpetrator here being scam-paigns. You might have heard of these recently, these scam campaigns and whatnot. I first caught wind of this back in 2014 when I donated to this online fundraiser for curing colon cancer because my dad was suffering from colon cancer at the time. A few days after I donated, though, boom, I got the email. Turns out it's a scam. The guy walked away, no accountability. And not too long after, I lost my dad. And ever since then, I've been focused on solving this problem. So what's our solution? Our patent pending technology provides fundraisers with a simple accountability tool. A receipt or a bank account is all you need to verify your spending, and iFund does the rest. That way, donors can see exactly how their contribution is spent, dollar for dollar. And that allows us to capture not just the current online fundraising market, but also to cast a wider net to the skeptics, an additional 40% who are left out of the market right now. And we do it by restoring their trust where it's needed most. And here's the proof. So since we opened the floodgates about 3 weeks ago, we've got 24 submissions for individual fundraisers on a daily basis. 25 charities signed up with 5 paying for priority features. And you can actually turn those 5s into 7s because I was able to close 2 more this week. So here's how that translates into our business model. Our leading revenue source right now is from the cold calling process with the charities. We take a standard fee for individual fundraisers, but if we fund the remaining build out of our own payment gate, we'll drastically shift our margins by staving off those expenses that are currently being absorbed by Stripe and PayPal. But not only does it reduce the cost we have to pay them, it can position us to take on their market at scale. Right now, we utilize our software to fix the trust problem in the online fundraising industry. And since our revenue is based off of market transaction value, we can leverage it to break into the digital payment space with a unique advantage. But here's the secret sauce. A simple accountability tool that verifies how your funds were spent. And we're using it to host the first fundraising platform where you can see where your money goes. Whoa. Now, here's how we know we can take this thing far. The official team so far is me and a select group of decorated advisors with relevant knowledge about the external factors that affect online fundraising and payments in general. A lot of you may have heard of the Fed Now program, and there are multiple things, but with their backgrounds, we continue to be a powerhouse for strategizing the success of iFund. So here's what we do with the funds. We take $500,000 and we shoot a portion of it through our marketing and sales processes that boast the biggest turnover right now, because our traction right now is just from the beta. So imagine we'll also fund development for production, because on the fulfillment end, I'm at the point where there's legitimately too many customers to manually handle the back end by myself. So that means just investing in the industry standard automation process for the read write and developing the proprietary software for the verified payments. That'll bring us to Q3 with 1,000 charities, 100,000 individual fundraisers, and 25 million in total transaction value. And most importantly, bringing accountability to the market in a way that helps everyone win. You win, I win. When you fund, I fund. Thank you.
Awesome. Great job, Raymond. Great job, Caitlin. Let's put up our next investor poll. This will be for our last two presenters, Happily and iFund. You guys are doing great, by the way. And just as a reminder to everybody, we have breakout rooms after our final presenter. We have 5 more presenters today, and we'll do 2 more polls after this. Do a poll after our 8th presenter and then after our final presenter. So I still see results coming in. Thank you. So again, these are confidential. We're not going to share with anyone except for the presenters. So I still see results coming in. And also just a reminder when you leave the meeting or when you go to the breakout rooms to download your chat history so you can see all the messages. You probably have some private messages that you may not have been able to see. And then the breakout rooms are all hosted by our presenting companies, so you can use that opportunity to go in and out of whatever breakout rooms you want. You can ask questions, etc. So with that, let's take down the poll. I'd like to now introduce our next presenter of presenters, and that would be Daryl Barrows. Daryl is an experienced entrepreneur, fund manager, and an attorney. He's a partner with Next, powered by Shulman Rogers. They're disrupting the way startup law is being performed with package offerings on a fixed price basis. Next was recently selected by Law.com and Legal Week as the Startup Emerging Growth Company Law Firm of the Year, beating out several huge and well-known firms. Next was also a finalist this year in the Legal Times Award as the most innovative law firm in the country. Congratulations and welcome, Daryl.
Thanks, Tien. I'd like to thank you and the CONNECTpreneur team for today's event. We are honored to be a long-term sponsor and supporter of CONNECTpreneur. Next, as Tien said, is an innovative new model for delivery of legal services from launch to each stage of growth and is designed from the entrepreneur's perspective. Next offers predictable and reasonable legal fees through fixed price packages and service bundles. Our clients work directly with seasoned attorneys like myself through our hands-on legal service model. And Next integrates a robust technology platform to create a client-centric experience that is collaborative, efficient, and transparent. For more information, find us at www.next.law. Anthony did a good job getting that. Again, www.next.law. The first company I'd like to introduce is ModAdvisor. ModAdvisor is an experienced modification calculator that analyzes workers' compensation claim data and provides in-depth analysis on claims, premium impact, and risk management opportunities. Here to tell us who they are and how they do it is Todd Thames, the founder of ModAdvisor.
Well, thank you so much for that introduction, Joe. I really appreciate it. So as Joe mentioned, my name is Todd Thames, and I am the founder of ModAdvisor. And I'm here today to share with you how we are simplifying workers' compensation insurance and how our solution is going to save the insurance industry billions of dollars. So here's the problem. Currently, the insurance industry generates over $40 billion a year in workers' compensation premiums. Businesses nationwide are affected by a number called an experience mod score that either increases or decreases their premium for several years based upon their prior claim history. It's currently estimated that 70% of all businesses overpay for workers' comp insurance, signaling the need for a better way to analyze the experience mod score. Here's the big problem. Performing a mod score analysis is extremely time-consuming for brokers and insurance carriers. Data needs to be taken from various sources, and it comes in different formats. The current solution today is either to copy and paste the data or manually type it in, taking hours of staff time. Large insurance brokers and carriers have a dedicated team to perform the mod score analysis, costing them hundreds of thousands of dollars per year And if a business receives a mod score analysis, it usually occurs once a year at policy renewal, and the damage has already been done. Mod Advisor will solve the fragmented data problem and save companies thousands of hours in labor costs. By doing a mod score analysis in real time, we'll be able to help brokers and carriers to not only be more profitable, but help their customers pay less for workers' comp insurance. Everybody wins. Our SaaS solution makes the entire industry more efficient with real-time mod analysis and real-time solutions. Our users can now get back to business and stop wasting time. In the last 14 months, we've made significant leaps forward. We successfully completed our first round of funding in January of 2022, and the next two things I want to share with you are fairly big. We were one of 12 startups that were selected to the insurance industry's leading accelerator, Broker Tech Ventures, and we're the second company ever allowed by NCCI to use their data publicly for these analyses. And NCCI is the company that produces the mod score for businesses nationwide. Currently, we have more than 50 active clients ranging from the small work comp shops to some of the largest brokers in the country. For the last 30 years, a single solution has held the insurance industry hostage. We're here to change that. We've already won over more than 50 companies, and we're just getting started. This market is huge, and it's screaming for a better way and a simpler way to analyze experience mod scores. Everyone wants it automated, and we're in a perfect position to do this. Currently, here's our, oh, I'm off my slide here, I'm sorry. So we put together an industry team of professionals that share our visions and frustration with the current market. In addition, we have 9 India-based developers who have been with us since the beginning. Our current round of funding right now, we're looking for $2.5 million. This will help us to build out our existing technology, hire additional staff, and expand on what we've built so far to disrupt this industry. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'd love to talk to you more in the breakout room about this.
The next company I would like to introduce is Novel Micro Devices. Novel has developed Novel DX, a next generation rapid PCR diagnostic platform for infectious diseases unlike any other product on the market. Please meet Andrea Pace, the company's founder and CEO.
Thank you, Daryl, and thank you for this opportunity to present our company to you all. We live in a day and age where the need for rapid, accurate, affordable, and accessible diagnostic tests for infectious diseases is clear to everyone. But why are we different? The current tests on the market have trade-offs. On one hand, you have the gold standard lab-based PCR tests that are highly accurate, but they take days for results and require expensive infrastructure, skilled personnel, and equipment. And then you have the point-of-care antigen tests that provide results in 15 minutes. They're affordable, but they can miss up to 50% of the positive infections. The existing point-of-care molecular tests are expensive, and they do not offer lab-level sensitivities. My team and I engineered the Novel DX PCR testing platform with the goal of bringing the PCR lab to the patient with a speed and cost that's comparable to the rapid antigen test. That is, PCR results in under 15 minutes anywhere. We are a platform solution that's designed to address any pathogen and any sample type, and our system is extremely simple to use. All you have to do is load the sample into the disposable test-specific cartridge and insert the cartridge into our Novel DX portable instrument. Results are displayed in under 15 minutes, and they're sent to the Novel DX secure cloud for reporting. The platform supports multiplexing, which means we can detect more than 6 pathogens from a single sample, and both the instrument and the cartridge are designed for scalability and low cost of goods. The infectious diseases diagnostics market is growing rapidly, and it's estimated to reach $39.8 billion by 2026. Our target customer segments within this market include the CLIA waived facilities such as convenient care, primary care, and hospitals and emergency departments. Our patent-pending scalable platform utilizes the razor blade business model, where recurring revenue will be generated through the sales of our disposable test cartridges and the expanding test menu that will run on the installed instrument bays. Our first test to market is a rapid PCR test for respiratory diseases, flu A, flu B, RSV, and COVID-19, with a global market opportunity of $7 billion. This will be followed by a test for sexually transmitted diseases, chlamydia, and drug-resistant gonorrhea, with an estimated market opportunity of $5 billion. Ultimately, our placed systems will run a robust menu of tests for fungi, bacteria, and viruses. We will rapidly expand our test menu, and our product pipeline and revenue will continue to grow. We have an extensive patent portfolio with filings in multiple jurisdictions that cover each aspect of our rapid assay workflow. And we have raised over $13 million in funding so far, including $6.3 million in non-dilutive funding from extremely competitive grant funding sources, such as CARB-X, which is a consortium of BARDA, the Wellcome Trust, and the Gates Foundation, RADx Redirect, which is part of NIH and NIAID. And we have a rigorous grant submission pipeline for 2023, with completed submissions to RADx and CARB-X for up to $15 million in funding for respiratory and sexually transmitted diseases. This present slide outlines our planned product launches and the capital needed to support commercialization. We're currently raising $3 million in a convertible note to complete system development and assay design lock. We've closed almost 2/3 of this raise, and there's an SPV that's investing in us that is managed by Exfora Capital that has filed for the Maryland Biotax credit. Why is that interesting? Because it provides a 50% cash refund back to investors. We intend to close this round by March, and I'm happy to provide details in the breakout room. Our platform is an attractive acquisition target to larger companies that are looking to expand their product offerings, and Novel is poised for exit multiples that will generate tremendous returns for investors. And finally, our team and advisors are experts in engineering, biology, clinical, regulatory, and business fields. We have what it takes to bring this product to market, and thank you so much for your time.
Great. Thank you so much, Andrea. Let's put up our next investor poll. This is for investors only. And our last two presenters, Mod Advisor and Novel Micro Devices. So again, this is confidential. We are only going to share this information with the presenting companies so that they can do follow-up calls with you. As a reminder, we have 3 more presenters, after which we will do a final investor poll. And then we'll go straight into breakout rooms, and you guys can go in and out of whichever breakout rooms you'd like. They're each hosted by one of our presenting companies, and you can save your questions, et cetera, for that. So we had Mod Advisors, which is a SaaS platform simplifying mod score analysis process, saving industry billions. And then Novel Micro Devices, which is disrupting the infectious disease diagnostic market with the most rapid, affordable, and accurate PCR diagnostic testing platform. The pride of Maryland. All right, I still see poll results coming in. So last call for any investors who might be interested. Okay, let's take it down. I'll turn it over to Daryl, who will introduce our final 3 presenters. Daryl.
Thank you, Tien. Up next is StellarRay's. StellarRay's proprietary 3D X-ray imaging technology is game-changing. It's groundbreaking portable tomographic imaging systems can be used virtually anywhere, including the point of care. Here to tell us more about this is Mark Eaton, President and CEO.
Thank you, Daryl. Current 3D X-ray imaging technology leaves a lot of people with no access to the best standard of care, important applications undeveloped, and a lot of money on the table. Sizable populations in the U.S. and larger populations overseas suffer high rates of premature death, massive healthcare costs, and a host of other problems without suitable X-ray screening and diagnostic capabilities. We aim to change that with groundbreaking portable tomographic imaging systems that can be used virtually anywhere, including the point of care. And by portable, we mean something that one person can carry. Our focus now is on digital breast tomosynthesis. DBT, or 3D mammograms, have been on the market for over a decade and have substantially reduced false negatives, false positives, and recall rates for major health and economic benefits. They're driving 14% growth in the market, which will soon be worth $4 billion, but a lot of women are being left out. Oop, there we go. I'm not advancing for some reason. Okay. Women in rural, inner city, tribal, and other areas, as well as many women veterans, have limited access to DBT, and these populations have the highest rates of late-stage breast cancer diagnosis and morbidity. Mobile outreach programs, the big pink buses, serve some of these women, but they have sparse coverage and very high cost. Stellaray's solution is a portable DBT system called PBTS that will have all the benefits of conventional systems, but with 3% the weight, 5% the volume, and 40% of the cost at $125,000. PBTS will transform outreach from the big pink buses to little pink suitcases holding a kit with our X-ray source and off-the-shelf detector and support hardware that can be set up in schools, community centers, and even homes. The key innovation is a multi-spot, digitally addressable X-ray source using proprietary cold cathodes in an extremely rugged vacuum package with integrated electronics and power. Beyond transforming access, PBTS will improve image quality by eliminating the motion artifacts caused by tube rotation. The next version will turn the system on its side so the breast can be scanned with no compression as the woman lies on a cot or bed. PBTS exposures will be processed using commercial algorithms on a laptop equipped with telemedicine and AI links. Our beachhead customers will be the outreach programs and perhaps the VA system, followed by women's clinics, non-traditional channels such as retail, and then global markets. Stellaray's small team has already made a digitally addressable X-ray source prototype for NASA to use on space missions like the Mars base that demonstrated the electrical performance we'll need for the breast imaging system. To this core development team centered on myself and Dr. Ron Helmer, we're adding the former director of X-ray source development for a European CT company and perhaps the former CTO of a mobile CT company. Two members of the UT Dell Medical School faculty, Dr. Jack Verosco, who runs breast imaging trials, and the director of the local mammography outreach programs, who will support development. Our pipeline has multiple branches. The next PBTS models will add monochromatic and phase contrast imaging. Then we'll sell the sources to other DBT groups, especially at medical schools, for them to develop reconstruction and AI algorithms that we can later bundle. Our next portable tomography system will be for emergency medicine and military use. Several companies are getting into this area, but none have portable systems. We're raising an A round of $6 million that we'll use for additional team building, marketing, further IP beyond our 7 issued patents and system prototypes. This gets us to a tested prototype in 2 years. We expect PBTS will qualify for 510K and that sales can begin within another year. Stellaray has won over $12 million in competitive non-dilutive funding, mainly for niche market irradiators. One of these systems is being rolled out this year, and other technology is being licensed. We'll apply for further non-dilutive funds in imaging, and there are further co-funding opportunities that could supply part of the A round. We expect $67 million in revenue in 2028 from these system sales, source sales, and licensing. PBTS sales of 228 units by then will be under 1% of the market, positioning us for substantial growth or acquisition. I'm Mark Eaton for Stellaray, and I'll see you in the chat room.
Our next company to present is Translational Imaging Innovations. Translational Imaging Innovations' vision is to deliver scalable data solutions that accelerate drug development and improve patient outcomes in ophthalmology and vision. Here to further describe that vision and plan of execution is a company CEO, Eric Buckland.
Thank you very much. The mission at Translational Imaging Innovations is to introduce a comprehensive software as a service platform to leverage images of the eye and help pharmaceutical companies accelerate the development of new preventions and cures for eye disease and for diseases that are observable through the eye. As an example, these are images of macular degeneration. My grandfather went blind with macular degeneration in the 70s. My mother today has macular degeneration, but she's benefited from injection over the past 10 years that have prevented blindness. You can see through images such as these that it's fairly easy to distinguish between images with severely diseased from a healthy retina, but images of the eye with earlier stage progressive disease are harder to interpret. We need better tools to extract actionable information from images such as these. This pharmaceutical industry needs better biomarkers. We've all heard that it takes $2 billion in 10 years to get a drug to market. And really, the main reason for this is that 90% of new drug candidates introduced into development fail to reach the clinic. Pharmaceutical companies rely on biomarkers to make decisions on viable drug candidates, but 80% of the cost and effort in developing biomarkers is data management. We're eliminating the chaos in this process with an integrated software platform that allows pharmaceutical companies to accumulate images from the source with a seamless path for analysis and decision-making. We're operating inside the skyrocketing market in biomarkers and healthcare AI. There's a market of $1 billion in ophthalmology, driven by the demand for better patient outcomes. We formed our company in 2019, and today we're deployed in gene therapy clinical trials and pharmaceutical R&D. We have 5 patents pending and 5 trademarks issued, and are proud to list Genentech and the Bascom Palmer Eye Institute among our early customers. We are in a competitive but highly fragmented marketplace. Our key differentiation is that we are unifying workflows in the middle of a very siloed environment. We're crushing silos. In our first year of selling product, we generated $367,000 in revenue, and we plan to double revenue this year on our way to $24 million in revenue over the next 5 years, what we think is $1 billion opportunity. We have a leadership team with vision and experience to execute on this opportunity. This is my second venture in ophthalmology. I sold Duke spin-out Bioptogen to Lycosis in 2015. I've raised $20 million, and I've been awarded 80 patents. We are now seeking $3 million in new capital to develop our commercial operation and expand our product portfolio. So I thank you for your support and hope you will speak to me in the breakout room about this opportunity in ophthalmic healthcare. Thank you very much.
Our last presenting company for today is Valet Closet. Valet Closet is a tech company that disrupts the antiquated self-storage industry by delivering unique storage options to residents of multifamily properties. Please welcome Thomas Loda.
Hello, thank you. Millions of Americans rely on storage units to store their items. In fact, 10% of you here in this room have a storage unit right now. Yet you are often left with outdated facilities, questionable prices, and a limited selection of predefined sizes. This combination makes the process difficult and expensive with virtually no innovation since the 1980s. And that's where we come in. Our software massively changes the process of storing items. Today, we can have groceries delivered and even get cars from Carvana. And that's how we disrupt the self-storage industry. With our platform, users can pay, for example, $12 a month for storing a kayak with a bag of golf clubs and have the items delivered on demand. Our fantastic team consists of 3 founders and a group of highly knowledgeable advisors. My expertise revolves around storage and logistics, while Diana's experience defines our go-to-market strategy and develops strategic partnerships nationwide. Last but not least, Nagi brings an immense level of technological knowledge that brings the entire concept to life. So how do we do this? We start by fractionalizing any empty space into 1 cubic foot and link data from several industries to provide the customer with a tailored price. We accomplish this by establishing key partnerships with existing industries. The storage industry provides us with the necessary space, while the moving industry grants us access to their trucks and personnel. Finally, our users provide us with their space requirements. We execute the process with 2 critical pieces of technology: Our fractionalization engine, which collects data from all the parties, instantly calculates the price for the user, finds space for the items, and executes pickup while maintaining a firm profit margin. Our computer vision technology allows users to select the items they want to store and immediately see the storage costs from their phones. This technology can change storage, logistics, and moving industries as we know them. In terms of competition, we are creating our own category. We are asset and capital light. We are developing software that connects existing infrastructures and existing industries. Secondly, our customers only pay for the space they occupy, which currently does not exist anywhere in the market. And lastly, we are location agnostic. We can launch anywhere in the US with minimal capital requirements. On top of our differentiators, we also have a unique go-to-market strategy. We've developed a B2B2C model where we deploy storage as an amenity in the multifamily industry. We partner with an apartment operator, deploy into their portfolio, and use their property resources to target the tenants in the building. We've gathered interest nationally, and locally we are ready to deploy into 70 apartment complexes. We tested our product in the market. First, we set to prove the profitability of pickup and delivery service and our technique for space fractionalization. And in our next phase, we focus on our go-to-market strategy, which allowed us to establish cost of acquisition, LTV, and the customer average pickup time of 10 minutes. I was fortunate enough to discover a study demonstrating that tenants are prepared to pay $34 a month for additional storage space in their apartments. With Valet Closet at this price, a tenant can store 6 storage bins, a bicycle, and 2 bar stools, making our solution desirable and accessible to much wider audience. We were able to put a fantastic team together, finish the software, test the model in the market, develop a solid go-to-market strategy, and now we are fundraising for execution in our early seed stage. So please join us on this journey of making storage accessible to everyone. I'm happy to provide more information in our breakout room, and thank you very much for your time.
Terrific. Thank you so much, Thomas. We're going to put up our 5th and final investor poll. This is for investors only. It's for our last 3 presenters. We had Stellar Ray with Mark Eaton, Translational Imaging Innovation with Eric Buckland, and Valet Closet with Tomas Lauda. This is for investors only. We're going to go into breakout rooms momentarily, and when we open the breakout rooms, you'll be able to go in and out of whatever breakout room you want. You can have a conversation with one of our presenters. Our presenters are all hosting their own breakout rooms. Before you do that, you want to download and save the chat history because there's a lot of action in there, and you can follow up with people. Couple program notes too while we continue. I still see poll results coming in. So yeah, this is for investors only. If anybody is in Austin or going to be in Austin for South by Southwest, we will be there. So you can direct message me right here on Zoom, and we will put you on the list for a potential happy hour that we're going to host down there. Okay, I still see poll results coming in. And by the way, we're going to do one final poll after this for our sponsors. And if you've already answered the sponsor poll at the outset of the event, no need to respond. So thank you for your participation today. Okay, why don't we take down the poll and put up the sponsor poll, if that's okay, Sky. And this is our final poll for our sponsors. Again, they're the ones that keep our events free. There's no cost to be on our events, as you know. So if you have any needs for marketing, wealth management, accounting, digital transformation, for example, we have some of the top service professionals around that can do this for you. Insurance, obviously. If you're interested in being a CONNECTpreneur ambassador, let us know, and we'll get back to you on what's involved with all that. If you want to sponsor one of our events, we have 8 in-person events that will be coming up, and I think Emily's been posting those dates to save those dates. Or if you want to present at one of our rocket pitch or in-person events, let us know. We'll follow back up with you. So again, just a reminder to please don't forget to save your chat before you go into the breakout rooms. We're going to open up the breakout rooms momentarily. Just a couple more program notes and we're done. February 23rd is our next CONNECTpreneur rocket pitch event. So please mark your calendar, and you can register. Registration is open for that, as well as for our March 30th CONNECTpreneur virtual rocket pitch event. That registration is open as well. And if you're in the Washington, D.C. area on the evening of January 31st in Arlington, Virginia, we're hosting our Connect Tales cocktail party. Hank Dearden, who's on the call, is someone you can direct message with if you have any questions. We are open for registration for that as well. With that, I want to thank you guys for joining. I want to open up all the breakout rooms, so you can go ahead and feel free to join whatever breakout rooms you want. And we look forward to your participation with our presenting companies. And we'll see you soon. We'll be back. We'll probably close out around 1 o'clock. So go ahead and meet the presenting companies, and we'll chat soon. Thanks.